this to be, I'm going to start recording in case, because there's a few other people that wanted to get on. I want this to be something that is a complete blessing in your life, something that's going to help you out financially, physically, whatever it may be, and help you in a way that's going to make you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I did this. That's the whole point, you know? And so between, like, Nathan's a coach, Nathan's been a coach for a while, myself, Sarah, Wendy's been a coach for 4 years now. She is my direct upline coach. Rachel Baldwin, who will be doing the Coach Academy, has been a coach for 3 years, and she's incredibly successful. So we're all here to kind of help walk everyone through it. So just want you guys to rest assured with that, like, because this is a big leap of faith. Okay, so we all understand that. And I just want you to know you have all the support you need, and like, you can reach out anytime. With that said, this is not a really difficult business, to be honest with you. It's pretty simple. You know, Lindsay, you're already active on social media. Like, half the battle sometimes is for people to feel comfortable being on social media, you know, and that's really a big piece of it, is just being comfortable with that. And once you're comfortable with it, I think a lot of it's just a matter of doing the things and setting aside the time. So the first thing I want to do, hey, Mary.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no, it's okay. We haven't really gotten into anything too much yet. So what I want to do is just kind of, we have a new Coach Online office. I'm just going to quickly show you a couple things on there, and make sure you have your EFT account set up. That means that Beachbody will be able to directly deposit your money when you get paid, you know, when you start getting money, which you're going to. We get paid every Thursday, depending on what you have done for the previous week. But you can get it directly deposited. So I'm going to show you that and just some basic things on our Coach Online office so that you feel comfortable with that. So I'm going to share the screen, and I will, oh, Greg is updating his phone. Okay, let me get you up here. All righty, let's go to here. All right. This is our old view. It takes you directly to our old view. So when you sign in, Nathan, do you know is there a different URL for the new website? Do you know? Or do we just do teambeachbody.com?
I think it's the same one still.
Is it? Okay, it just takes us to our old. Okay, so I'm going to sign in.
It should take you to the new one.
It does direct you, but I thought there would be one that just takes you straight to the new one. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of glad because I'm still kind of getting used to it. So you go to Coach and then Coach Office. All right, and then it's going to take you to our new website because they've been working on this for, I guess, a couple of years, and it's going to be a lot more user-friendly. So what you're going to see is your dashboard. Okay, it's just got your basic profile. This is your Coach ID. This is really important. This is a number that's going to be associated when you sell a challenge pack or someone purchases Shakeology or a workout program or Beachbody On Demand. This is how they connect you to that purchase so that you get commission. You'll memorize the number eventually. But just so you know, you don't need to worry about it right now because we'll help you when that time comes when someone becomes interested in joining a challenge group or something. Obviously, your name, your username, this is your rank. You don't need to worry about any of this stuff yet. But that's kind of like your overall status here. When you go down here, you see your upline sponsor. So Wendy's my upline sponsor. You can see that. Success Club, we're going to talk about in the group. This tells you all your Success Club points. But again, you don't have to worry about that yet. You're going to learn all about that. Volume, definitely don't worry about that yet. There's a place for earnings, leadership ladder. But what I need you guys to look at is up here to be able to get this set up. I always want people to get it set up right away just so it's done and out of the way. So up at the top here, you're going to see, let me see, is it under Monitor My Business? Yes, Monitor My Business. And I highly recommend you guys just kind of dinking around on the website. When you have free time, don't make it like, I need to do this tonight. Like when you have some time to dink around, maybe next weekend, kind of play around on the Coach Office to help you feel familiar. And it's got a lot of information here, your personal and customer orders. So when I make a purchase, it'll be under here, customer orders. These are all of my customers, free customers that just sign up for a free account, paid customers, all of the above, all of that. This is all of my, when I click on that, my personally sponsored coaches show up. Sponsorship drill down is my coaches and everyone below them. And you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. So when you go over to compensation, don't worry about any of this stuff yet. This is something that's down the road. My EFT management. This is what you need to set up. Do this right away. Unless you want to get a paper check, but they charge you like $3 to get a paper check. It's silly. So do the EFT management and it sets you up and then you'll get paid that way. The other thing I wanted to show you up here is, let me see them here. Events, this is interesting to look at. We have a Super Saturday every 3 months. And actually, if you haven't heard, Rachel Baldwin and I are hosting one in January here in East Lansing, so that'll be fun, but we'll talk about it as it gets closer. Just a way for us all to get together, and a lot of local coaches will hopefully be coming. All right, but this is where I want you to kind of play around with at some point when you have downtime. This is just a training area. There's tons of information on the products. There's some good business training tools in here, but a lot of it will be covered in the Coach Academy. So that, but it's still good. It's a good tool. Personal development stuff, we talked about that in the Training Academy. I know, Lindsay, you already watched one of the videos. For my new coaches, I'm buying you guys a new personal development book to get you started. So we'll talk about that. And then this is just all good information there. So play around on your Coach Online office just to kind of understand, get the EFT set up, and you'll be good to go. The other thing I want to show you guys is, let's go to Facebook. It's called Coach Training Academy. And okay, so this is the group. You guys have all seen it, right? I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. So this is new, and we're excited because it's going to make it easier for you guys to follow along. Instead of, you guys know, Facebook groups, like the order of things get all jumbled sometimes, and that can be frustrating when you're like, and then it makes you feel overwhelmed with things. So Lindsay, you've checked out the portal, I think, right? You've gotten on it.
Yeah, I started filling it out, and some things are confusing, but yeah.
We're still trying to work out some kinks too. Wendy, she's the one that spearheaded it, but once it's all set up, it should be very clear. I'm going to open it up just to kind of show you guys. I think I signed up. You go to enroll for free. And then I think I'm already signed up, honestly. I think I already have an account. And then you put in your info. And yeah, I did. Resume course. Okay. So what it will do is it will also send you emails like, hey, you're on lesson 1, or you finished lesson 1, congratulations, now you're on lesson 2, and it kind of reminds you. So you just literally go down, tell us about you. Okay, now some of it, like if there's kinks in it, just let us know. And so you fill it out. Who's your sponsor? This is just for the records. And then as you complete it, it will show completed. There'll be something that shows that it's completed. Start your workouts now. So there's great information on it. So it's completely self-paced. And it's nice because it's right in order for you. It tells you when you're completed an activity, and then it's tied back to the coach training group. So Wendy has put some, comment below with your responses to the questions regarding your workout from that particular post. Start your workouts now. So if you have any questions in here, you would go back here and comment here. Okay, so that's where that information would go. And between the 3 of us coaches, we will be, look, Wendy's already been on it. She's been kind of checking, so that's good. She's answering questions. One of us will be able to answer questions in the comments. So after you do any of the, I don't know, modules, I don't know what you'd want to call them, make sure you check back on the Coach Training Academy, and if there's a piece for you to answer a question or whatever, or ask a question, that's where you'll do it. Okay, so it should be super easy. If there's kinks, if there's confusion, let us know, because this is the first time we've done it, but we're super excited about it. So a couple things that you can do. Those were kind of like some just like housekeeping type things for you guys. I am going to stop sharing now, and just mute everyone here. Okay, so that's just housekeeping type stuff. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Becky. Now I want to talk about, and Nathan and Sarah, you can hop in anytime. We want you to really get excited about what's happening right now, because like I said, we're kind of doing things a little bit differently. We're completely onboarding coaches a little bit more. We're going to be a lot more involved than we have with other coaches. So this is a really good time that you guys joined. Mary joined a while back, but kind of tiptoed and kind of trying to see what she wants to do. And that's totally fine. That's why I invited you to come into this, because I feel like you're thinking about it. But the first thing that you're going to need to do, especially if you haven't done a program yet, okay, Lindsay is one that hasn't done a program. Mary has. Mary's gotten some great results. Becky has. I don't know about you, Sarah, if you're brand new or not, but if you've done any of the workouts. But pick a program and get on the Beachbody On Demand. I don't know if you've checked it out yet, Lindsay, or not. And pick a program that you want to start with and do it from start to finish. Like figure out, what the workouts are. There will be a program list of what is expected on certain days. And I always recommend starting on a Monday. I don't know, maybe it's just me. You don't have to start on a Monday if you don't want to, but, and just start being a product of the product. Really just kind of figuring out what you love about it. What is your thing? Drink your Shakeology every day or most days. I probably drink it 5 days a week. 6 days a week. Start getting involved in that. Figure out what you love about it. What is it that's been beneficial to you? Like I said, many of you have already done a program and you've worked through, or maybe a few programs. I've pretty much done all of them, except I can't get into Country Heat. I just can't do it. I did it one time and I was like, no. But every other program I've done, and there's lots of different benefits. It just depends on your workout style. So get into a program, and that's a simple thing that you can do. Most of the workouts are under 30 minutes. Some are a little bit more, like a Shift Shop, the workouts get up to 50 minutes. And I think Hammer and Chisel, some of them get up to like 40, and then the Core de Force, some of them get up to like 40. But most of the other workouts are all under 30 minutes. Anyway, so that's an easy thing. All right, the next thing we want to talk to you about, and this is just as you're going through the coach training, these are all things you can do while you're going through the coach training, which will walk you through how to do certain things, the business, how the business works and that kind of thing. But while you're doing it, start getting comfortable with social media, okay, if you're not already. Start sharing, being comfortable about sharing about what you're doing. And I'm not talking about selling. I'm not talking about like a picture of you with Shakeology or anything. We don't want to do any of that kind of stuff because it's kind of like yucky, kind of a turn off to people. Just be genuine, be funny, share about what's going on with your kids, lifestyle type stuff. Share about your, hey, I'm starting this new workout program. You don't even have to mention the workout program. Just share about like, that you're excited about something that you're taking on. And we're going to talk about in the Training Academy, kind of like your coming out post, how you can kind of share about like what you can say to put yourself out there. My husband did it organically a couple weeks ago because he kind of dips with the business and dips out, whatever. He's kind of trying to take it seriously now, but he signed on a coach that night from that. And got, a girl that he went to high school with she's empty nester, and she's doing it for the discount, but she's like ready to reclaim her life, and it's kind of exciting. So those are exciting moments when someone resonates with what you say and what you're going through, whatever it is in your life that you're going through, and people can resonate with it and then get excited about, whatever's going on in their life. So we'll talk about that, kind of coming out post. But in the meantime, start getting on social media a little bit more. I do all, if you haven't noticed or not, I don't do anything on my personal page anymore. I do it on my fitness page or business page, you might call it. But don't worry about that yet. Like that's something down the road that you can consider. I know, Mary, you asked me some questions about that before, but I transitioned everything over to my business page now because that's just what I've done. But for now, personal page would be where you're at. Or you could, if you're an Instagram user, the only two social media platforms that I'm pretty comfortable with is Instagram and Facebook, but I know a lot of people run their business on Snapchat. I'm not a big Snapchat person, but Facebook is the main hub because like everyone's got a Facebook account. And it's a good way to connect with people. So just getting into the habit of sharing, maybe share a nutrition tip or something that you've really cool recipe that you tried that was healthy and that your kids eat. Maybe you have a picky eater in your family, and talking about something that they're willing to eat, or a funny thing that happened when you worked out, and I don't know, something cute. Maybe your kids got involved or something along those lines. So just like really non-pressure type of post, but getting you engaged with people and getting people to see like, oh, she's doing something or he's doing something. And then the next thing is setting some time aside. And this is a business where you're going to get what you put in. This is a conversation Lindsay and I had in the beginning. She was like, well, what was it like financially for you for a while? Like, well, you get what you put in. And the thing is if you consider it a hobby, you're going to get paid like it's a hobby. If you consider it like a business or you work it like a business, you will get paid like you're running a business. It's really a business that the possibilities are pretty endless. And it's exciting. It's not just the financial possibilities. It's really cool the people you meet and get affiliated with. But financially, really, it's, what you put into it. So I highly recommend you finding space in your week. And there might be days that you have no time, and that's totally fine. Like no one's asking you to work 8 hours a day or anything like that. You have to figure out what's going to work for you. When I first started the business, I always made time to work out. And then I always made sure I posted on social media, and I always made sure I connected with 3 people a day. And really and I ran challenge groups. I did that too. So I was always engaged in my challenge groups, those accountability groups, and trying to help people accomplish their fitness goals. So I tried to do that, or that's what I did my first year probably. And I still was progressing my business at a rate where we were making an income for our family that was, not just a drop. It wasn't just like, it was something that was relatively significant. Now I'm at a different point where I invest a lot more time into it. But I was consistent. The consistency is super key. If you put in 4 hours or if you put in a half hour, it doesn't matter. If you're consistent and you're doing the behaviors that we'll teach you in the Coach Academy, I guarantee you your business will grow. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, because I totally recognize that there's a lot of busy people on this call, and I'm one of them. So I completely understand Sarah Bry's busy, Nate's busy, I know you're all busy. So and you have to also recognize, like, we're not your bosses or anything. We're kind of like a mentor. We're there to help you. And really what you want to put into the business is totally up to you. But a recommendation is to find time during a week. Sometimes on Sunday, I'll kind of like map out my week. Okay, what does it look like? Where do I have spots of time to put some energy into my business? When am I going to work out this week? What days, because I always take probably 2 rest days a week. What days do I really need to take a rest day because maybe I'm super busy, or maybe I know I'm going to be exhausted that day from the previous day, whatever. So I think about those things, and it's really important. It really helps, and it makes things less stressful too, so that you're not like, oh, that's the last thing we want. We want this to be something that adds value in your life and is exciting for you. So I'm trying to think of what I was going to say about that. For me, I'll kind of tell you what my business hours look like, just so you have an idea. Is I get up Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are the days I work at my school job as a school social worker. I wake up at 4:30. I know that's super early, but it's quiet in the house then. I wake up at 4:30 and I work till 6:30. So I put in 2 solid hours. And again, I've been in the business 3.5 years now, and this is our biggest source of income for our family is Beachbody. yeah, so it's important. I have to, like, I don't care if I'm tired, I get up and I do it. And then I work out in the evening, and then I usually put in about a half hour at night. Wednesdays I have the day off, so I probably put in 6-7 hours, but that's because I'm off. I'm just here with the baby. Well, it depends on his temperament of the day, but I do put in a significant amount of time. And then on the weekends, I don't put as much time on because I try to spend time with the family. But there are some weekends where it was just too busy during the week, and I'll do some catch up. So that's kind of what mine looks like. So when you kind of look at it from the perspective of how much bang for my buck am I getting, like spending 2.5 hours a day is pretty good considering that I'm getting back, but during that time I'm super focused, and that's really the big thing. Consistency, focus, bringing the joy. If you don't like it, like that's going to be difficult. You got to like doing this. So, make sure that you're in touch with where you're at emotionally with everything. The other thing is just plug into our team page, plug into Good Vibes Tribe, plug into Team All Stars, plug into Sarah's page, which is Team Ignite Your Soul, whichever team you're affiliated with. Plug into the page. It's not overwhelming. It's just we post things in there. It helps you know what's going on with our team, and sometimes people will post like some ideas. Sometimes there's like I said, a coach training academy, or maybe there's a challenge group like, hey, who wants to hop in this with me? Or sometimes it's recognition. Sometimes it's introducing a new coach or whatever. So that's that. And the last thing would be is, and again, we'll talk about this in the training academy, is just start thinking about when you want to start, like where you're at with this. Are you wanting to make this a serious income for yourself? Are you wanting it to be kind of like, I wouldn't mind a little bit of extra money per month? Or maybe you're considering it like a hobby, like I just want to get my Shakeology paid for. Like you have to really determine that. And that's super important to help you determine like how much time you want to invest in it. And sometimes, like I started off thinking, I just kind of want to get my products paid for. And then like within a week, I was like all in. I was like, I really love doing this. This is really cool. And I went all in. So it might change, and that's totally okay. But really identifying where you're at with it will help you figure out all of those other things. So that's all I have to say. Sarah or Nathan, do you have any words of encouragement or any other things to add? And then you guys can ask questions or add anything you want to add.
Always.
What do you say?
I said always.
You always have good things to say. Chime in.
I don't know about that, but how long is the Zoom? Maybe you should take questions first.
I think I have it till 9:40 because I'm too cheap to upgrade.
I was just going to say, and I don't remember where I heard this. I think it was through my Tony Robbins training. But there's a formula 1-3-5-7, and this is just good to think about when you get impatient, because there's going to come a time where you think my business isn't advancing. I should be at this level and I'm here. You might advance your business and then go backwards. So this is for really anything you do that you're a beginner at. The one is 1 year. It takes 1 year to become competent and profitable. And profitable, that would be like knowing the basics, covering your expenses, and learning about the business. 1 year to do that. I mean, you're embarking on something so exciting. And the coolest thing about this is it's impossible to impact others without impacting yourself. You are going to impact yourself on this journey. You are. You can't, it's impossible to just change others' lives without that self-growth. But give yourself that year. I've had coaches quit after like 2 weeks. Oh, I didn't sign anyone. You've been at this 2 weeks. How many people did you invite? Well, I invited 3. Okay, well, yeah, no shit, you didn't sign anyone. Give yourself a year. 3 years. The 3 is for 3 years of consistent part-time effort in order to go full-time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the average. Now, that's not going to be true for everybody, but if you can put in consistent part-time effort as an entrepreneur, chances are you can go full-time. 3 years though, like 3 years of not missing a day, an hour a day, or however many invites. Those 4 vitals. Did you already talk about the 4 vitals?
I mean, I didn't like name them, but sort of. But with the sharing on social media, communicate, just engaging with people, being a product of the product, you know.
Awesome. So give yourself, I mean, think about, and I always equate it to college, right, Mary and Becky? We went to college together.
Did you all three play all together?
College. It took me 5 years to get a degree. I can give this, something I absolutely love, 5 years, going part-time. The 5 years, speaking of 5 years, it's 5 years of consistent effort to become a 6-figure earner or above. That's the average for an entrepreneur. And they're doing the consistent work every day. And then with anything, 7 years to become an expert. So I just hear a lot of new coaches, and I did this too, and I still do it. They're so hard on themselves. I should know this by now. I'm not even running challenge groups. I've never gone live. You have to be patient with yourself, be willing to learn. I think Ethan said it well. He's like, just be a sponge. Sorry if I stole your line, but just be a sponge and be willing to learn, but be willing to be patient with yourself. And then sometimes you just have to get real and ask yourself, am I really working the business? Am I really doing those 4 vitals? Am I really inviting? And I just think anything worthwhile takes time. And you're about to build something that's really worthwhile. And for me, truly, truly rewarding. It just is. I have another, this is a good quote. I'm going to read you this quote. I just spotted it in my journal. It's really, the journey is everything. And it's hard when I think back on 2.5 years. And there have been times I've wanted to quit. I've texted Sarah and said, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And it's not necessarily about getting what you want when you want. Because, right, we'd all be driving like Ferraris and vacationing in Hawaii right now. But it's about what you become in order to get what you want. It's really about that self-growth. And I don't know of another business opportunity, and maybe there is, where you can have that all-around self-growth and create that type of freedom. So that's all I wanted to say. And then I wanted to say one more thing about sharing, because social media and sharing was, believe it or not, was really hard for me in the beginning. I did not want to do it. And I made a goal to post once a day, just once a day. And 8 out of my 10 posts were not even related to the business. And then I think my coach, or it might have been you, Sarah, said, why don't you do twice a day?
I think I did. I remember you saying, I'm just really private. And I'm like, well, that's okay. But I think we went out to dinner and we talked about it.
Yes. Yes. I'm really not that private anymore.
No.
But one thing that's helped me, and I would write this name down and I'll type it in the comments, is Simon Sinek. He has a YouTube video about really being genuine and what the best companies do. So he compares Apple to Microsoft, and he talks about the golden circle. And it's really what I focus on when I'm going to do a business post, where I want people to I want to share like my heart, right? I don't want to persuade people. I want to inspire them to make a change. Or when I'm doing a Transformation Tuesday post, which I'm going to do about a coach tonight or a client tonight, it's the golden circle. And you always start with the why. Why did you join Beachbody? Why are you doing this? Chances are many of you are going to say, I really want to help people. Or I want to get into shape. Or I became a coach because I want to pay it forward. So start with your why and then branch out into the how. And then end with the what. Okay, so like your challenge group would be what you end with. But you always start with the why, because people don't make decisions on what you're going to sell them. They make decisions if you can tap into their feelings. That's when you can reach them emotionally, that's when they're going to listen to you and they're going to make a decision. And I have an example. I can post it in Team All Stars of what this might look like.
Cool.
As far as a business post. I could read it to you, but I could just post it if you want.
Post in there.
But he has his video, it was like 11 minutes, but he talks about that.
Yeah, those are great YouTube videos to watch. Good personal development stuff. He always has good things.
Yeah, he does.
All right, we have 3 minutes and 24 seconds. So what thoughts, feelings, concerns, questions do any of you guys have? Where are you at? Do you guys anything you want to share? Like where you're at with starting, nervous, excited? You want to say something, Linz?
I don't know. All right. So it's at our own discretion when we want to make our big post about when we want to start and all that stuff.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I mean, we're going to assist you with it. I believe that there's going to be a video on it as well. But, you know, as I said before, like Greg did it in organic post just about like, because he lost like 25 pounds recently. He needed it to get his energy back. He was just like falling asleep all the time. I'm like, this is crazy. But he did it organically on his own. But we will talk about some of that in our group too.
So wait until all that's
if you
done.
feel inspired,
Just do it.
Just do it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong because you know how many stupid posts I put out there? 1 million. So I never feel like it's a bad idea to just throw yourself in. But
you know how I work.
I know. But
I'll just all of a sudden start writing stuff and I'll be like, what did I do?
I know, but your posts are funny and you're a good writer. And you're like Sarah Bry. Sarah Bry is really good at expressing herself on paper or on social media. And it's funny and engaging. And so.
Lindsay, that's funny because that's how I describe my posts. I just start writing and then I look back and it's so stupid.
Yeah, and there's never a right time or a best time. You just have to put yourself out there and kind of deal with what happens with it. It's going to be overwhelmingly positive as opposed to negative. And the negative is just not, you get to determine what you feel is negative or positive. So, I mean, I speak from experience too, because I said, I don't know, like, I tend to be like a perfectionist and it kind of paralyzed me for a bit. And then it's just like, just kind of close your eyes and jump.
Right. I tend to think of all that stuff when I run. Go ahead. Go.
If anyone, I will read. I'm not an expert, but if anyone wants me to read your post before you post it and give you feedback, I would be happy to do that. You can just send it to me.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. That would be good. Thanks, Sarah. All right, what else has anyone got for us?
I just had the same concerns with sharing on social media.
Yeah. Is it like nervous about putting yourself out there, or what is it for you?
Just, nervous about everybody's opinions. And I talked to Sarah about this a little bit and just not caring what other people think, basically.
Okay, I just upgraded the account, so we have more time. Yeah, worrying about what other people think. I mean, I think this is part of what Sarah was talking about. Like, this is more than a physical transformation that I feel like Beachbody has done for me. It's an emotional transformation. And that's why we do a lot of that personal development, and we do these team calls, and we get together when we can, and we see each other at these events and things like that, because part of it is pushing yourself through some of those comfort zones that aren't so comfortable, and recognizing that, I can handle this. And some of those fears that I thought were going to happen don't actually happen. And then you find out who your real people are. Like, you find out who are your, people that really have your back, or people that find you inspiring. And then the other thing is, on the flip side, is that you don't know whose life you're going to change. When I started Beachbody, again, like Wendy invited me and I was like, okay, whatever, okay, I'll try it. I wanted to lose some baby weight. But now I look back and I'm telling you what, had I not chosen to say yes the one day when she was like, all right, well, you've got all these people noticing that you've lost this weight. Why don't you at least make a little commission? I'm like, okay. But had she not done that, my life would be 100% different than it is right now. We would still be living, some of you don't know my backstory, but I was living in Illinois. It's not that far away, but I was incredibly homesick all the time. We came to Michigan all the time to visit my family. I was super homesick. We weren't able to make that move to Michigan for financial reasons. And we had 3 kids at the time, and transitioning them all. And it's just tricky with money and selling a house and everything. But without Beachbody, we would not have been able to move. We wouldn't have been able to get the house that we got. We wouldn't be able to send our kids to private schools. And I know I'm talking about financial things, but it completely flipped our life upside down. And I think about, had I not taken that leap, had she not trusted in me, I don't know where I would be. So I also think about that as a coach. When I put myself out there and I feel that fear of what are people going to think, I think, well, there's someone's life that could be affected by this, And Sarah, you could probably speak to that too, because when you signed up, you had a lot of fear and you had a lot of things and you had some goals for yourself that you wanted to take care of, and you did. And imagine had you not been exposed to this opportunity. And so I think about that as a coach, I want to help people get to where they want to be, because it helped me so much. It changed us so much. So I don't know if that answers it.
So true. Sarah, I had those same fears. And truthfully, I still have those sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post something and think, oh my gosh, I'm a teacher. What are parents going to think? Or I'll never forget at Summit, I think Gary V was talking, Vaynerchuk. Anyway, he said, this stuck with me. He said, care more about what, no, I'm going to screw it up. I just had it. I'm sorry. It's been a really long day. I've worked a 14-hour day today. Care more about helping people rather than what they think.
Right. There you go.
And that stuck with me, because every time you do post, you might have people roll their eyes, but you never know who you're going to be helping. And so I really took that to heart. I care more about others now more than what they think. And that wasn't the case when I started. It was the opposite. I cared more about what they thought of me rather than them. And when that flip-flopped, that when I made that change, it really took away the hesitation in posting. But I still, once in a while, I've had people block me. I've had to block people. I've had people say to me, people hate your posts. I've had people say that to my face. Yes. And I just say to them, they don't have to read them. I'm not forcing them to read. I'm not forcing them to go to my page. I'm not forcing them to read my posts. And truthfully, if that's the case, then I just did myself a favor, because I am now disassociating with those toxic people. I don't want them in my life. And the other thing is, this stuck with me too. If you've never listened to Les Brown, he's really good with personal development with this topic. Not caring what other people think. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. And it's true. What my neighbor thinks of me is none of my business. I don't care. It's my neighbor. I have a list of people. I care about their opinions. But otherwise, if people are not helping me grow in the direction of my dreams, then I don't need them in my life. I don't need their negativity in my life. But you're going to find that for the most part, a lot of people are positive.
That's what I was going to say. It's very, very, very
It's
rare.
very
I think
rare.
I've gotten one person that, and it was a friend who's no longer my friend anymore, that said something super negative to me. And it was based on not even real information. But yeah, I would say the vast majority of people are super excited and supportive. And if they don't want to see your stuff, then they'll scroll past you. And that's okay. They have that right. I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's brought so many amazing people into my life that outweighs the handful of people that I know of that were pretty negative. And when I'm 80, rocking on in my rocking chair on my beach, I'm not going to care what so-and-so said about a post that I made 20 years earlier. It's not.
Exactly.
But it takes time to get there.
Yeah.
Believe me, if you would have talked to me 2 years ago, I would not be saying these things.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to be quiet now.
You always have good stuff to say. All right, other questions, concerns? I know we're going longer than I promised. I'm sorry. But just want to make sure you guys are all good. And we don't have these all the time. Like, this is just, like, I kind of, like, the other day was like, I want to make sure that, like, Mary and Lindsay and Laura, who wasn't able to hop on because she's got sick kids, knew what was going on. So this isn't, like, I don't want you to feel like this is a big time commitment every week. The only time commitment that we have is our Monday night calls, and that's always optional. But once in a while, we have these type of, like, get-togethers so we can kind of, like, touch base. So
That's why yeah, like how often, how are we supposed to know how often to jump on something? You said Monday nights.
Oh, yes, we have team calls on Monday nights. Where, like, last night, I don't know if you were on or not, but Rachel did something about how to post on social media. Rachel Baldwin did a call on that. And then next week, I don't remember what the topic is next week. And another coach will be sharing about something. And it's always like, if you got crazy stuff going on, it's always recorded. It will always be in the team page. It'll be a Good Vibes Tribe, which is my upline. It'll always be in there. So
Okay.
never to worry if you miss it. But other
When
than
it's when it's time for us to start our own challenges, you guys go over that. Like,
we are going to go over it, and we have tons of, like, challenge group scripts that we use. When I say scripts, it's just like things to post in your challenge group. We have tons of menus to pull from. Yeah, I'll help you in a minute, buddy, but we're going to bed. They're up super late because whatever. Anyway, but we have lots of resources. We'll share all of that with you. You can team up with some of us. I team up with people all the time. You know, you could co-run it with someone until you feel comfortable. You can run it with me. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we'll go through all of that. And I can share I can add you to my Google Drive so you can start looking through it if you want. I have all my stuff in there. Actually, I have it in Team All Stars. Honey, I'm on the middle of something, okay? Can you do that? No, I'm not putting Ninja on right now. Why? Sorry. But it's in Team All Stars. I'll direct you to it. I'll tag you on it so you can see where you can access all my stuff. But we'll go over that.
Lindsay,
mm-hmm.
am I on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is Mary. I will partner with you. If you post menus, I'll help you in a group
Okay.
because I'm
Thanks.
almost ready.
Yay!
My concern would be credibility. And from a credibility standpoint, I mean, like, my name on a search in association with my work life or family life separate. That's my biggest concern and hang up.
Totally.
It's just leaping in as a professional and putting myself out there, because I know in my field in healthcare, everything you say can be used against you.
Mm-hmm.
Good, bad, and different. So that's my biggest hang up at this point.
Right.
And
I'm in the same boat. I'm in elementary. Like, I work in an elementary school. So, like, I have to be really careful about, like, same thing with Sarah, like, working in school. So,
Sure.
exactly.
And I don't want to come off as a hard sell or soliciting.
Right. We don't want you to do that either, because
Mhm.
no one's gonna like that,
Mama,
Sure.
you know. And I've been in the boat where I've done
can we
that
push this in?
because I didn't know what I was doing.
And Mama, I
Mhm.
want
Ava, can you help Coley?
something.
Ava, can you help Cole, please?
I want to watch something on
Sorry, I'm
it.
totally plugging my kids into social,
Ava, can
not social media, but into
you-
games. Yes, no, yes, I totally get that concern. I mean, Sarah Bry and I both work in a school as well, and that was a huge concern of mine because I'm a school social worker. Like, kids look me up, and you know, I work with middle school kids, so I don't want kids like looking and seeing me in a sports bra or anything like that. So when I was working for my personal page, I didn't really post a whole lot of that kind of stuff. I do on my business page. I don't care anymore. But so you have to do what's comfortable for you. Like, totally get that. Like, what's going to keep you comfortable. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, Sarah, if you want to weigh in on this, I'm trying to think of a best way to put it. You have to kind of think of your comfort level, but at the same time, I mean, I have had zero issues with it, and I work with kids. What do you do again, Mary? I can't remember. Are you a nurse?
I'm not a nurse. I market and manage a local home care company.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. I'm sorry. Right.
Yep.
So I totally get that concern. But like I said, part of it's just sharing your life. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing that's healthy for you? What are you doing to change your fitness? Because you've done a lot, Barry. Like, you rock out those challenges. When you go in, you go all in.
I love the product. I love the workouts.
Mm-hmm. And that's really what what's working for you. Again, you're not saying, I just did core to force. Look what I did. Like, we do transformation photos a lot. But you don't have to be in like a sports bra or a bathing suit or anything like that. You can do whatever you feel like. And you don't have to do one of those posts, especially right now, if you don't want to. Like, it's a lot of it's your comfort level, but at the same time, you will learn and figure out what is going to work through time. Some of it's trial and error. Yes, Nathan says, I was going to say this is about being shares people, not salespeople. People will be inspired by what you do, not by your products. You're really trying to sell yourself. That sounds bad, but we're not trying to be like Beachbody spokespeople. Beachbody is our tools that we use to help people out. But it's really just about like being yourself and being authentic and being organic. And, but you do have to stretch yourself a little bit. Like, I totally get it, because there's a growth spurt that happens. And I think some of it's going to happen through trial and error. Like, you have to take that leap. Like we talked about before, just take the leap, and you'll start sensing like, what am I comfortable with my work and stuff, because people can look you up on Facebook, pretty easily. So I totally understand that. I probably didn't cover that.
Well, at what point did you switch over with a fitness page?
I did that. Well, I started one right away, but fitness pages or business pages are really, really tricky. They don't push out into the newsfeed like a personal page does. The way that Facebook does the algorithms, like they have different criteria and things that push you out. I also pay for a ton of ads and stuff at this point. Like, I put money into the business, or I put money into Facebook. Facebook is making money off of me. But I started going really hard with my fitness page last year because I feel like I've completely exhausted my quote unquote warm market. Basically, people I know. Everyone that I know knows that I do this. I'm not gonna, they all know I do this. So I'm trying to find, now I'm at the point in my business where I am looking for meeting new people that have similar interests as me, that are in a similar life, stage of life that I'm at. And so I've done a training that helps me. Buddy, hold on.
Team doesn't go on the iPad.
Okay. So I run a lot of ads and things like that. So that's why I like say kind of hold off on that. Let's get your business going, see where you're at, and then we can help. Like, I paid for a training to get my business page going, and now I am running completely off of it, which is nice. So, we'll see where you're at and how things are going. But I also feel like we have a lot of people in our lives that we can positively impact that are already in your lives. And so that's a good way to start. Sorry, I mumbled on because they are way past their bedtime. It's 10 o'clock. Greg fell asleep on the couch.
Was the goal with the business page also so it would be public versus the private personal page?
You can make your personal page public.
Sure.
The goal was for me to reach people that are in similar circumstances that I am, that are beyond, like reaching a cold market, basically. Because
the sponsoring the ads.
I sponsor ads, yeah, and I run ads to have people like my page. I run ads for certain posts that I do, like call to action type of posts. Sometimes I'll run ads for free groups too, because that's a good way to make relationships. Is doing those free groups, because people need to trust you before they do before they're going to want to. A stranger's not going to want to spend $160 just because you want them to. They need to trust you, like you, all that kind of stuff. So really like posting about who you are and being authentic, like so people can really, they kind of get to know you through your posts, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So it brings people to my fitness page, and then some of the posts I will put money into. And then it pushes it out in the newsfeed more often. And it helps me meet more people, basically, in a nutshell. But your personal page, like I said, it's a lot simpler. I think they still do have algorithms for your personal page, but it's not as stringent as a fitness or a business page. So I hope that makes some level of sense. All right. Other questions? No? All right, cool. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, teacher posts. Definitely. I just did a post, and I don't know why I don't post a lot about my job. I did a post tonight about the people that inspire me, that bring joy to my life, like my special needs kids, basically. I have a big caseload of kids with autism and Down syndrome, and I don't talk about it very much. I don't know why I don't, but people are like, oh, wow, I didn't know you did that. That's exciting. I have a special needs kid. And then it's a conversation that you start with somebody that's not even Beachbody related. Like, it's just creating a relationship and connecting with someone and doing it authentically. That's the important part. It's not going in with an ulterior motive. You cannot do that, because it's not, first of all, I don't think it's very ethical. And second of all, I feel like people can smell it a mile away. So you have to be super authentic with connecting with people and really being interested in them. So, okay, it's 10 o'clock. So I got to take my kids to bed.
But Mama.
So thanks for getting on, you guys. I appreciate it. Bad mom over here. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.